Thank you so much for fixing my porch, Handy Manny. And with the lowest prices in town.
Stand back, ma'am. We're deporting this illegal hombre back to Taco Town.
¿Illegal? ¿Qué demonios estás hablando? No soy un illegal con tus manos. Oh.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. We are here in D.C. for meetings that start very soon, so forgive the formalities. We're headed to the DOJ for one of those meetings. Guess who won't be entering the Department of Justice in handcuffs? And guess who is in handcuffs? Left-wing judges. This is Hannah Dugan in Wisconsin in her judge's robe, getting arrested with a very special handcuff arrangement here. They had to use 3 pairs of cuffs in order to winge her globulous arms behind her. What did Hannah Dugan do? Well, she helped in the assistance of smuggling criminal aliens out of her courthouse. These criminal aliens are domestic abusers. She then screamed and yelled and sent ICE in the wrong direction while she personally did the human smuggling. And before we get to the footage, which is so important and we've been calling for quite a while, the government had to release this footage for everyone to understand the treacherousness of all of this. I want to just get to a quick moral issue. One of the main reasons I'm here in DC is because we went to the Maha event yesterday at the White House with RFK and Trump and all of the Maha crowd. It was great. It was an amazing team. It was an amazing moment to witness President Trump wanting to make the country healthier for our children. We should love our children more than we hate each other, as RFK says. I brought my own child to this. This is my 3-month-old baby Whitaker right there, and my wife. And here we are at the White House. What healthy nations and healthy societies do is couples, people who have met and get married that are native of that nation, that country, and that culture. These people have families. And then those families also feel native to that culture and the traditions of it. And this is called the American dream, right? And I'm all for naturalization of people that want to be here and want to be Americans. Clearly, that's what happened with my family hundreds of years ago. But the point is that this is the healthy core family unit of any nation, right? You have 2 Americans, they have American babies, and they raise those American children, and hopefully they put those American children first. What happens with these left-wing judges is they have no children and they have no family, yet the instinct remains. And so instead of having their own children that they're protecting or providing for, they import the children of the third world and decide to shove that instinct very sickly and very perversely on criminal aliens, because it is inborn in all of us, deep in the bones, to pass on our value system. And the only way that left-wingers who are childless are able to pass on their value system is to import third world criminals and to get them addicted to government welfare and to say you better vote for the Democrat Party. That's how people like aging Hannah Dugan here, who lives with her cats and is a miserable person, can explain these actions, because what she does is she treats the criminal alien like her own child, right? And that's how they see it. It's a sick, sadistic, and pagan way to look at the world, but it is what these people, it is the horrible life that they have created for themselves. Don't wish it on anyone. Have families, have children, live a happy life, live a life of purpose. Don't be like Hannah Dugan. Here we go. Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan seen sneaking criminal alien out of her court after distracting ICE agents. New video shows Wisconsin judge indicted for helping an illegal criminal alien evade authorities is seen confronting ICE officers shortly before directing the alien towards a private exit out of her court in newly released footage. Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan, seen in her black robes, speaking to federal agents before reportedly arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Mexican national, facing charges of domestic battery and guaranteed deportation. The video released by Milwaukee County through an open records request is part of evidence in the case against Dugan, who prosecutors say obstructed federal investigation. Of course she did. Allowing him to leave the courthouse a different door, sending him away from the ICE agents. The footage from April 18th, ICE agents are seen going down the hallway after being directed through a door by Judge Dugan. So she sent him the wrong direction as she smuggled the domestic abuser through her own private quarters. So this is who she sees as more valuable than your children, because this monster is abusing American children and Americans, right? Sick. Here's the footage.
For the first time, we're seeing Judge Hannah Dugan outside her courtroom April 18th wearing her black robes, appearing to confront several federal agents there to arrest Eduardo Flores Ruiz, a Milwaukee man and Mexican national charged locally with 3 counts of domestic battery. This video, released by Milwaukee County through an open records request, is part of the evidence in the case against Judge Dugan, who's charged with obstructing a federal investigation, concealing Flores Ruiz, allowing him to leave her courtroom by a different door after sending the agents to speak to the chief judge. Flores Ruiz, dressed in black with his attorney, is seen in several of the videos leaving by that other door. One prosecutors say was used by jurors and not open to the public. As he leaves, though, he is seen in the hallway, followed by another agent. As Flores Ruiz gets into the elevator to leave, the agent slips in as well. According to the criminal complaint against Dugan, that agent followed them down. The agent seen here following out of the building downstairs, and once backup arrived, they tried to arrest Flores Ruiz, who another video shows ran north in front of the courthouse for nearly a block before agents caught up with him and arrested him. Federal agents arrested Dugan herself a week later.
Eduardo Flores Ruiz's domestic violence case is moving through the Milwaukee County Court. He is, however, in federal custody on his immigration arrest. The FBI arrested Judge Dugan at the county courthouse 1 week later on April 25th. She pleaded not guilty in a federal court last week.
Judge Dugan, your response.
That's Dugan exiting the federal courthouse after an arraignment last week. Her legal team filed a motion to dismiss the case, calling it unconstitutional and saying that she is entitled to judicial immunity. A judge set a tentative trial date for July 21st.
This footage has gone insanely viral. Obviously, this is something that sickens all of us. This video is damning. Hannah Dugan is toast. Milwaukee releases footage. Sneaking criminal alien out of the courthouse. Look at this. She helped him escape federal agents. This is bad. She is going to get clobbered over this. She was arrested 1 month later. She's pled not guilty. She will appear before federal court on July 9th for her pretrial hearing. Her trial is set for July 21st. Oh, boy. She wittingly obstructed federal agents, concealed a person to prevent arrest. She should be in jail for years. Let's make an example out of her. Absolutely. Of course, there's always jury nullification, which would mean ignoring the laws and the facts. But otherwise, many lawyers, including trial lawyers here, are saying that she's cooked. She's totally toast. This video proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that she actively hid a criminal alien to prevent his arrest. Turns out there's video. We've been asking for it. Obstruction. She needs jail for her crimes. That's exactly right. Lock her ass up for a long time. Not too bright, not too bright. There are cameras everywhere, you idiot. She needs to be thrown in prison for life. Democrat judges are ruining America. For my non-Wisconsin peeps, the report below showing it all, it would appear that everything the feds put out in the affidavit against Dugan is correct, damning evidence in the case. This is wild, and it's hard to believe that she thought that she could get away with this. Lock her up. Here's Tom Tiffany. He's a member of Congress from Wisconsin. He represents a district very close to this Milwaukee district. Hannah Dugan should be barred from ever serving as a judge again. A judge who puts criminal aliens ahead of the victims has no place in our courts. Somebody who also agrees with that is Tom Fitton. We asked Tom Fitton about this and what was likely to happen. Ooh, baby. Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch cooks here. Let's go. Maybe, Tom, you can help us out with this one. They're locking up people for harboring criminal aliens. Why not charge Joe with harboring 11 million criminal aliens? I mean, didn't he do that?
It depends on the analysis of his job as president. Was it part of his duties and responsibilities or the failures? Probably not. Certainly Mayorkas can be charged, in my view, or should be investigated. Everyone who helped Biden allow this invasion of the United States, I think, should be seriously investigated for their roles in undermining and really contravening the rule of law.
It does make a lot. It does kind of, when you realize how deep and how dark this entire rabbit hole is. We put up the photos of all the judges in handcuffs here, please. I mean, I'm glad to be able to put up some photos of powerful Democrats in handcuffs. I'm sure this was a relief to you as well, Tom. Wanted to get your take on this. Pretty wild when you listen to the stories here. They were treating these criminal aliens and gangbangers like their own children. They were doing everything they could to, like, have them live with them, have them use their own judges' quarters, human smuggle them out of the courthouse. It's insane when you hear what these judges did.
Yeah, that Wisconsin judge is really something else. And what she did was so contrary to judicial ethics. Read about the rule of law. It's just as a judge. You know, I'm a commissioner on a judicial ethics commission here in Washington, D.C. The president appointed me. And I'm aghast at what happened there. And the Wisconsin state authorities need to take a look at what she did there. And not only did she place the federal law enforcement at risk, but remember, he is a violent person. He was alleged to have engaged in essentially murderous conduct. He nearly killed 2 people, according to what he was charged with, and nearly beat them to death. And this woman helps him evade capture from federal authorities?
It defies explanation, other than you should be serving long prison sentences, because this is what happens when you do that, right?
And the governor of Wisconsin, all of these politicians of the left, all endorse this lawlessness. Whose side are they on? They're not on the side of Americans. They're not on the side of the rule of law. And you have another judge in Wisconsin talking about keeping people in jail so they won't be deported. People have lost their minds with this anti-Trump animus. And if it means the country collapses, they don't care. And if it means people get harmed and hurt and killed, they seemingly don't care either.
It does bend itself, and I know Stephen Miller's talked a lot about this, and there's been a lot of viral posts on this, but it really does set the table pretty crisp and clear, Tom. We don't have a country, right? If one administration can bring in 20 million criminal aliens to the country, and the next administration can do nothing about it, then your country's over. It's cooked. I'm not a doomer, but I am somebody who says, well, that's not going to work. Unless there's mass deportations, the country's over.
And they really need to get to the mass deportations. I think my impression is the Trump administration's operating at capacity, but the judges are getting in the way. Local state authorities are getting in the way. I mean, when you think about the numbers, let's say it's 10 million. I remember doing the calculation, so forgive me if it's off since then, but 5,000 or 6,000 people a day need to be deported just to remove the Biden invaders alone. And if those folks are not deported, the country is changed politically necessarily, because they get counted unless the law changes or President Trump changes the counting. They get counted for purposes of the census, and it means that blue states benefit, get to keep and increase power in Congress, and get more votes in the Electoral College system. And so this is why the left is desperate. It's not even about them voting. Their mere presence increases the political power of the left.